In the raw. Archaeus guy in free media. Your friend, your brother, me. Haji, Dr. Ocean can in the raw. And this in the raw has gone so big. I can't walk a street or go in a corner anywhere. Even in the international airports, people will just, who don't even know me personally, they will say, in the raw. Anyhow, that's that's nice feel to know the coverage I have without boosting. Now, I don't normally read letters from individuals in the media. But I saw one here by Joel BHAGWANDIN. Seems interesting. He's bringing up some facts here. But I want to make it quite clear that I'm a person who personally likes Nigel Hughes. And I love Sister Cathy Hughes. I love her. I know she knows well and better, but she plays the political thing. I think even Mr. Nigel Hughes, attorney at law, who should be appointed senior counsel. But for some political things, government don't do this. If you remember the last time, who was it? Was to be appointed senior counsel, and it was announced, and I think President Granger pulled it off. I'm disappointed that President Granger, former, would have done something like that. I can't remember the name of the lawyer, but the man was very pained and very hurt. I think Nigel Hughes, even if I was leader of the country, and Nigel Hughes battles against me as leader of the country, or do whatever he does for his political thing, when it comes to law, I think the man should be appointed senior counsel, Nigel Hughes. I disagree with him politically in many aspects. I think he knows better. I think he knows better about Ramjatan. Mr. I give him Mr. The only man I don't give the Mr. to is the man who lies about the SOPs. Ramjatan don't even know about the SOPs. Now Nigel Hughes don't know about the SOPs. But he's not going to share those SOPs to show, as he alleged, that they won the election. But Nigel Hughes doing his part as a kind of a de facto, yet not solemnized marriage with the PNCR UPNU kind of a thing. I personally think that AFC should run independently if it wants to make a mark or be used by the PNCR. But that is not what I'm here for. That's my take. AFC leader continues to demonstrate why he is unfit, unqualified to be a presidential material. And this is from the newspapers of Guyana Times, December 9th. Now, this letter is written by Joel BHAGWANDIN, a young man I admire. I think the man has his fingers on the trigger, and he's good. He's going to be a great politician one day. Or I see maybe raising to the helm of being Minister of Finance, maybe in his 40s, and so on. He's a young man, doing beautiful, and I'm very proud of him. But AFC leader continues to demonstrate why he is unfit, unqualified to be presidential material. I will listen to him. I personally think Nigel Hughes has ways to go. I wish he could help himself by critiquing this, trying to steal the election. Critiquing in the fact he's staying quiet on it. He's not making much of a comment on it. Cathy Hughes is avoiding it, political gains. About the Russians and the Libyan, and which they escaped and they deported immediately. Why did they call the media? Ramjatan, Mr. Ramjatan, why did they call the media right away? You got 4 people, but it may make you look so ludicrous. And you were announcing that with such a beautiful voice. You're trying to put the English voice, not the quarantine boy voice. I don't want to say what. Well, I can say it. Because I'm a quarantine boy too, so in Coolie boy voice in the quarantine in Blackbush, Poland, and so on. You understand you were using good English. And you deported them. You can't show us the papers, the documents. You make up 4 photographs. Recently I'm told there are 4 photographs. But where is it? Why Patterson is hiding it and blocking it? Why is Sister Cathy Hughes blocking it? They know better. And Barjack David should not ask them to apologize. We know better. Why didn't call in the Commonwealth observers? The Carter Center observers? Why didn't call in all the EU observers and all the ambassadors to say, look what we found. Ramchatan, for a lawyer who's been around for a while, you messed up, man. And I notice AFC leader is always, on that, let me put you on to Ramchatan. Then quickly, Sister Cathy Hughes will come in because she also used, tried to defend and create the madness about these people coming in from Russia, speaking to Barjak Dev, according to Ramchatan. Mr. Barjak Dev, as you know, he speaks Russian, and Russia was like the big thing, at that time. But you did bad. I think the AFC leader needs to come out and correct that. And also about the attempt to steal the election. If Nigel Hughes could come out of that, he would break that morass. He would create a dynamo. And he needs to keep away from how he could be a junior partner to Norton. How on earth? But let me go to the letter, ladies and gentlemen. That's my take. I am blocked from AFC's Nigel Hughes, really? Oh, that's not good. The man is a top lawyer. He fights for anyone everywhere. I didn't know that. That's disappointing. And David Patterson, well, Patterson is neither here nor there. I will speak to him and say hi. I don't socialize so much, so I don't meet these guys. But with Nigel Hughes, I'm surprised that he blocked you. He's a man who could defend himself. The Patterson Facebook pages. Hence, I have to rely on a third-hand information. I understand at their last press conference, or whatever press engagement they had, that Nigel Hughes claimed that US5 million from the oil resources are unaccounted for. Well, that's what you're saying, and if he is saying that, he needs to bring the evidence. He's a lawyer. You're going to the biggest judges in the world, to the highest Supreme Court in the world, higher than the United Nations Criminal Court. You're going to the people. And therefore you have to bring the evidence. The illegal word is corpus delicti. Bring me the body. Corpus delicti. And when I was studying police sciences, we had to do some pre-law and penal law and criminal law. Not to be lawyers, but as police students. And I made the entire classroom in Montreal, Quebec, Canada laugh much. And the instructor, Captain Bill Young, at that time, he was, God bless his soul, I'm sure he will be passed now, because he was at that time was in his late 60s. And I'm talking about 45, 46, 47 years ago. Anyhow, when they used the word corpus delicti, I said delicious corpse, corpus delicti, and the whole entire classroom of all adults cracked up and were rolling policemen and captains and all them in the police force. The AFC leader continues to demonstrate why he is unfit. Now, I am not saying so. And I don't know much of this politics that Joel will bring in as a finance specialist. But I'm not saying so. Till now. Why the AFC leader continues to demonstrate why he's unfit and unqualified to be presidential material for Guyana. He's absolutely clueless when it comes to public finance. Well, the man is a lawyer. He's not a public finance specialist. Fiscal management and accountability matters. It shows how divorced, some would say divorced, depending upon English and Merkelish. How desperate, deceitful, disingenuous, and devious he is, and by extension the AFC. First and foremost, the AFC's reckless assertion can easily be disproven in this regard. As of September 2024, the National Resource Fund balance was 3.2 billion American dollars. Here it is proven that 60% of the earnings, profit, oil, and royalty from the oil resources to date remains untouched. My God. Brother Nigel, you're getting yourself eaten up here, man. You know, the money is actually untouched. 60% from the oil resources to date remains untouched. The rest has been bridges, dams, highways, free university, free education, bonuses to the people, grants, teachers increases, public servant increases, highways, roads, hospitals, doctors, specialists. It costs money. You know, Mr. Hughes, Brother Hughes. We have only spent 2.2 billion, 41% thus far. For context, public service wages and salary alone for the same period amounted to 2.3 billion. So that was just basically used for salaries. I wonder what is their obsession with the oil resource earnings, BHAGWANDIN asks. What about the non-oil revenues and earnings from the carbon credit proceeds? They're not talking about that, they're asking. And they are the ones who try to block it. Well, not AMC leader, but Ramjatan leader. Tried all kinds of things to block it, and still some people voted for that man. I mean, how you could vote for a man like that who tried to block your funding for an investment in what we already have and get paid for. From 2020 to 2024, non-oil revenues will amount to 7.4 billion. That is 37% more than the oil revenues earned from non-oil sources over the same period. So what he's trying to, US 7.4 billion, that is 37% more than the oil revenues that was earned from non-oil resources over the same period, were used, and a lot of that from the carbon credit. And many, all the communities have been getting tremendous amounts of money to develop their communities in the interior or the riverine areas by our Amerindian or indigenous peoples. Further, under the PPPC administration, every cent is accounted for in accordance with the financial laws of the country. So Nigel should know that. I would advise his advisors to put him in place, because these things could hurt him if he means to run in the election as the leader. And every cent is audited as per the Auditor General report, which is subject to scrutiny by the Public Accounts Committee, PSC, that the opposition chairs. The opposition chair that. So, I can't understand why he would say these things. I guess it's politics, huh? I am not going to attack or abuse him. Sometimes I do put some pressure on Ramjatan, but I like this guy, Nigel Hughes, personally. On the contrary, the APNO and AFC hid the 18 million sign-in bonuses from ExxonMobil in violation of the fiscal management and accountability. Oh yes, that's true, I forgot. 18 million were hidden, and they were not telling anybody. They did not announce it. And when the BHAGWANDIN government found out about it, it was then had to be shown, and then the finance minister, Jordan, had to say he thought it was a gift. So he hid it. Testing the waters. Why? And so, because President Brigadier General retired, he said, I knew about him and I told them because people wouldn't put too much pressure on him. He was trying to save this man, Mr. Jordan, it will appear. They ran up an illegal overdraft of over 140 billion on the government deposit accounts at the Bank of Guyana. Illegal. 140 billion. And obviously, the new government of Infonali has to pay that. That was unaccounted for. There was the illegal spending on the capital budget after the no confidence motion between 2019 and 2020. And they abused that, amounting to another 142 billion. They were not supposed to spend any money because they had fallen, bringing the grand total to 286 billion that remained unaccounted for by the APNO and AFC, and unlawful expended during their tenure in 2015 to 2020. Sincerely, Joel BHAGWANDIN. Well, I'm learning a lot here. But I brought out some knowledge and so on. I need to be aware of these things so that when I make comments, I can know what I'm talking, and I can be conversational in case I have to be interviewed or any such thing. Your friend, your brother, me, Haji, Dr. Ocean, can say thank you. Farewell.